Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing amazing. This week's topic is treatment of the different variations of anxiety in adolescence. The treatment for mental illnesses or disorders is usually pretty much the same all across the board, even if it's for teenagers, except that it takes a lot of help from people outside of the person suffering from it, such as parents and teachers and possibly mental health professionals that are equipped with tools to help teenagers rather than adults. So the first on my list always when it comes to treatment is exercise. The reason why exercise is so big is because it can actually change your brain chemistry and release hormones that are called the happy hormones, and it can mimic the effects of anti-anxiety medications. And the sooner the teenager starts working out, the sooner the teenager starts joining different sport groups after school, the sooner they will feel comfortable and the sooner they will get really involved. And this can not only be good for them and their brain chemistry, it can also help with a lot of the things that we talk about when social anxiety disorders come in, and that is that they will get more comfortable with their peers and they will kind of get thrown into this role of a person in a group, and they will learn socialization skills and they will have less time to think about their problems because they're busier after school. And so in any which way you think about it, whether it's integration into post-school activities or whether it's for their chemical brain activity, it's all good. So that's the first on my list. The second is a healthy diet. And it sounds funny when you say healthy diet when you're thinking about mental health, but everything is related. And I am a holistic practitioner, and I really believe that everything has to do with everything. And so I am a big believer in decreasing dairy because dairy causes inflammation. And anytime there's inflammation in the body, the system does not work as properly. And so I'm a big believer in decreasing dairy and decreasing carbs for your children. Now, I know children love carbs, as does my Sophia and Sienna. They both love their pasta. Having too much carbs slows the system down. Too much sugar slows the system down. It keeps kids crashing. So they go up with the sugar and then they crash. They go up with the sugar and they crash. And this crash mimics a low point of the day and also not a great feeling for them. So I highly recommend having a very well balanced meal for your adolescents. As they're growing, they need it as well. Next on my list is supportive parents and supportive teachers. Everybody really needs to be on board with whatever treatment the adolescent is getting when it comes to their anxiety. Everybody needs to be well aware of what the teenager is going through. If they are being bullied, if they are feeling insecure in their body as they're going through so many changes, if the girls have recently gotten their menstrual cycle, there's just so many changes that the teenager is going through. And it really helps when the teachers at school are on board as well as the parents. So both parties need to be on board and know what's going on with the teenager. So keep the open communication, parents. If you have to send an email, if you have to get on a call, even if your teenager tells you not to, do not listen to them and get everything on the same page with the school. Next on my list is positive feedback. And this is so important when it comes to the home atmosphere. It's so important for your teenager to understand that even though you may not understand all their desires, even though you may not understand everything that they want to do and they want to accomplish, it's so important for them to feel that you are supportive of them and you believe they can do it and you believe whatever they're set their mind to, they can achieve it. Even if your daughter comes and says, I want to play the electric guitar, and it might be really far-fetched for you, just say, absolutely. If you're passionate about it, let's do it. Just be 100% on board. And also another thing that's really important is a lot of times I'll have teenagers come in and they will say, my aunt said this about me, or my uncle compared me to his daughter, or so-and-so compared me to my sister. This comparison really stands out in their mind and really makes them feel inadequate if it's done in a negative way. So please stay away from comparing and always give them the supportive shoulder. Next on my list is meditation and breathing exercises. Now, it is very hard to get teenagers to get on board with this because they normally don't believe in it and they usually get bored while doing meditation exercises. But I really recommend creating a family almost culture where Saturday mornings or 2-3 times a week you guys are going for walks and you're breathing in and out. And a lot of times when you tell them to do it, they won't do it. But if you do it with them, they'll kind of feel like it's more acceptable and more okay. I used to do this a lot when we were going through COVID, is I would just lay mats on the floor with my girls and I would put calming music and I would show them how I do my guided meditation. And there is simplified guided meditation for teenagers. If you just search it on Google, it will pop up. It really helps their anxiety. Next on my list is joining a club. Even if your child is suffering from social anxiety disorder, I recommend signing them up for different clubs for something that they are passionate about. I have a teenager who really likes to play chess, and I convinced him to join a chess club, and he didn't want to do it, but now that he's found friends, and he didn't really have friends before, so I really recommend whatever they're passionate about. There's clubs outside of the school, so a lot of times they might not be able to join a club within their school, but outside of their school with their peers, people that are their same age. Any after school program that they're into is a very good positive thing. We went through the exercise in the beginning. This is kind of in a different format, but the same thing. Next on my list is self-help books. There are so many different self-help books outside of their school that they can turn to. And honestly, all it takes is a really good search on Amazon to find a book that pertains to them and speaks to them. And a lot of times I like to ask them to search themselves because they are very smart and they know which keywords to put in, and they will find the one that speaks to them. And they often say the book finds you, not the other way around. So hopefully the book will find them. And as always, journaling. Often enough, the girls love journaling and the boys don't, but I always do recommend it. It is such a good way to bring your thoughts out of your mind and onto paper. And if all else fails, or if you have the resources to do this from the very beginning, of course, therapy is much recommended. Just make sure that your adolescent has a say in who he gets to choose. And if they don't like the therapist, please don't force them. It is a connection that is an important match, and not every two people match together. So I always tell my clients, if you feel comfortable with me, I am humbled and honored. But if you don't, it's not a problem. Let me help you find somebody else, someone that you can relate to and they can relate to you, and the connection is easy. I hope this helps. This is such a crucial time in our children's life, teenagers, and it is a big foundation for them for the rest of their life. So let's give it our best. Thank you guys.